Hi guys and welcome back. So today we're going to be doing the second part of our little mini series covering 10 tools and DV. Like we mentioned in the previous video, we know this is quite an expensive time for a lot of parents. There's a lot of kit to acquire and a lot of knowledge to acquire as well. So we're just trying to make that a little bit simpler for you. In our previous video, in episode 1, we spoke about places to invest your money, so places that it's really worth spending a bit of extra money to get the best kit and to provide your child with the best experience. And today we're going to try and help you save a little bit of money. So areas you can cut a little bit of cost or maybe save a little bit of money, and also methods that maybe are completely free. So we'll have a little bit of a chat about that now. Okay, so a really good place to save a little bit of money is looking at your food. In terms of lunches and breakfast and stuff, it's quite easy to save a bit of money. With breakfast you could look at sort of Ziploc bagging cereal, things like that, or porridge, get those little pots of porridge rather than buying sort of a pre-made boil in the bag option. For lunches, obviously it's as inventive as you can be. Rather than buying sort of high calorie bars, you could look at cereal bars, which you can obviously bulk buy from your local supermarket. When you get to dinner, it's a little bit more difficult. You want your kid to have a nice meal at the end of the day, especially if they've done a lot of hard work. And the go-to from us will either be a dry meal or a wet meal. The differences between the two are quite simple. More expensive, weighs a little bit less, and you get a lot more calories for your money. Wet meals are considerably cheaper, they're heavier and there's less calorie content, but like I said, they are a little bit cheaper. When it comes to choosing between the two, it's very much up to you. It's how much you want to spend. Obviously the point of this video is to try and help you save a bit of money. The wet meals will be absolutely fine for most kids for 10 tours, especially if you're throwing in a few extra snacks as well. So if for dinner they've got a wet meal and some cereal bars and things, that should be plenty for them. There is another option. It's not something that we sell here at Torn Leisure, but it's a way of cheapening things up a little bit more. If you head over to Amazon, you can actually buy the lock bags that they use. So basically you can buy this bag without the food in it. You can cook or bulk cook your food at home, pop it into these individual bags, and then you can sort of make your own boil in the bags, which is a really nice option. It does save you a little bit of money. You can freeze these down and have them ready to go when you need them. And sort of the overall cost of that is a little bit cheaper. So have a little look at your food, have a think about what your kid needs and areas you can cheapen it up. Like I said, cereal bars can quite easily replace like expensive protein bars and things. A sugary sort of squirt-in squash could replace the powders that some people will put in their drinks. So there's a lot of options to save a little bit of money when it comes to food, and definitely is a place to focus on. Okay, so tip number 2 when saving a little bit of money for 10 tools and DV is to not buy things that aren't 100% essential. So on a lot of kit lists, it will suggest you carry a bowl or a plate. Obviously, if the school requires you to carry that, whether that's for safety reasons or just because they want that being carried by the kid, then there's no way around it. But some schools are very flexible with that kind of thing and don't necessarily expect you to get every single thing on the kit list. So removing certain items that aren't essential and you can sort of work around is a really good option. One of those tends to be a bowl or a plate. Most of the meals you're going to be eating out on the moors, or your kids are going to be eating out on the moors, are going to be boiled in the bags. So instead of buying some sort of bowl or plate, leave that at home, or leave that in the shop, should I say, and replace it with a long-handled spoon. So instead of buying a spork, buy a long-handled spoon. And basically what this is it's a spoon with a long handle, which means you can eat directly out of the bowl in the bag. One less thing to carry, one less thing to buy. You're going to be buying a spork anyway, so the long-handled spoon shouldn't be an issue. And what that will allow you to do is eat directly out of the bowl in the bags. It's, like I said, it's just one less thing to carry and one less thing to buy. So that is one of those items that you could potentially leave at home and you found a different solution for that. Okay, so tip number 3 is actually one that costs you no money whatsoever, and it's actually having a chat with local people, families from the school or potentially families you know who have done 10 tours. Especially down in Devon, 10 tours is a massive thing, and so is DV. A lot of people have done it, so there's a potential for a lot of kit to be out there that could potentially be borrowed. Facebook could be a really good place to have a chat with people and find people that might be willing to lend you kit. But have a chat with people. A lot of kids will have done 10 tours, they'll have done DV, and they'll have moved on with their lives into a position where they don't necessarily need that kit anymore. So having a chat with people who are local to you, maybe in your village or maybe within the school you're doing it with or the club you're doing it with, and they might be able to loan you a little bit of kit. Like we said in the last video, there's some kit that's worth borrowing, there's some kit that's worth buying. Boots and a bag, they should really be fitted, so it's worthwhile, coming into store and getting those bits sorted. A sleeping bag and a roll mat though, if you can borrow those from a friend or a family member, or even from someone within the school that's already done 10 tours, you could potentially save yourself a substantial amount of money. So have a chat, have a little talk around, go on social media and see if there's potential for you to borrow kit as well. So tip number 4 is to get clarity on the kit list. There's a lot of potential to misunderstand the kit list, misinterpret it. So really feel free to email your school back and forwards, or the club you're doing 10 tours or DOV with, or your kid is doing 10 tours or DOV with, and have a real chat about kit and what is essential, what's not. We obviously spoke about things like plates, but now we're talking more about clothing and things. When it says on a kit list that they need a lightweight fleece, if you own a fleece and they don't think it's lightweight, have a chat with the school, have a chat with the club and see what their opinion is on it. You might find that it's absolutely fine and you don't have to go out and buy another one. It could be the same with things like base layers. You don't think you've got base layers that are quite up to the challenge of 10 tools, or maybe you think they're a little bit too substantial and you're going to go out and buy a brand new set. Have a chat with the school, drop them an email, have a chat with the club, drop them an email, and just see if it's something you definitely need to go out and invest more money in. So that was a really quick video just covering 4 ways to save a little bit of money when you look at 10 tours and DOV. Like we said, we looked at food, so there's the option to look at wet meals rather than dry meals. It's not always necessary to go for the most expensive option. Borrowing kit, not taking things that aren't essential, so like ditching the bowl, getting your long handled spoon and eating straight out of the bag. Save yourself money and also your kid a little bit of extra weight in their pack and also pack size. And also having a bit of clarity when it comes to the kit list. There are certain items that will double up. There's things you probably own that, although the way they're worded on the kit list looks like you don't have them, with a bit of clarity, they might do the job perfectly. If you've got any questions about 10 tools or DOV kit, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. We're always more than happy to answer your questions down there. And as always, we'd really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day.